All right, so now that you have your FNL journal, I want to run through and just show you how to use it. Now, of course, you can use this however you need to, and it's meant to be used however is going to be most beneficial for you. That being said, I want to just give you some tips and pointers. That way I can kind of set you off on the right foot and give you some ideas and inspiration for how you can best use it. So when you open your journal, of course, you'll find the please return to page. So I think that goes without saying how to fill that out. And after that, it's just a little bit of background about the journal, why I created it, how it's designed, and a little commitment from you to yourself. And then we're going into the different sections. So again, in the journal, I do explain kind of how to use it, but I wanted to create this video for people who are more visual learners and aren't necessarily just driven by reading things on a page. So I wanted to actually show you, and I'm Italian, so I like to talk with my hands. And so I'm going to run through and just give you again some ideas on how to use it. So again, just a little more description of the journal itself. Baby, see, you done? Good boy. So again, just a little more description of the journal itself here. Can you stop? So the first section you'll see is the burning questions section. And this is to kind of see where you're at right now, how you're feeling about your life, and to also get you to start thinking about where you might want to take things. So where are you maybe feeling a little bit unfulfilled, and where are you feeling really good and really strong and confident? That way you can see exactly where you might want to direct your attention. So again, this is kind of self-explanatory how to fill out, but answer these questions to the best of your ability. And if you are not sure what to say or nothing's coming to mind, that's okay. You can either skip it or reach out to the Facebook group and the FNL community, and we can help you. Then you have your 6-month and 3-month vision. So this space can be used to list things out. You can draw a little map with different branches coming off of it to kind of organize your thoughts. You can draw a picture. You can cut things out and paste them in here if you have photos or images that kind of embody what you want to have for yourself in 6 and 3 months. So using this space however you need to. Again, make it colorful. You can draw, you can write. And down here, this is just a little bit more specific for fitness, nutrition, and lifestyle categories. So in 6 months specifically, what are some of your fitness habits that you would like to have? What are maybe your top 3 nutrition habits and your top 3 lifestyle habits? Come on, go ahead. Should we go out? Go ahead. I really hope this video is getting that. Didi, I'm busy, baby. Go lie down. Go lie down. Come up here. Go lie down. Good, lie down. Same thing on the 3-month vision side. So based on what you put here on the 6-month side, where would you need to be in 3 months to be on track for the 6-month goals? So looking at what we've got here and kind of translating that over here, breaking it in half essentially. So say you want to be able to run a mile in 6 months, then maybe you want to be able to run a half a mile or a quarter mile in 3 months, that sort of thing. And again, you can draw, you can write, you can put pictures in here, whatever you'd like. You guys, hey. Then you're on to your monthly plan. So there are 6 of these in the journal. So because this is undated, all 6 are in the beginning. So every month you'll flip back to the front and fill out a new month. So for example, you could write May 2019 up here, May 2019. And then your most important and time-sensitive items. So that could be maybe you have bills that are due, maybe it's somebody's birthday, maybe you have a work project, maybe you just have a personal thing that you're working through that's really important and time-sensitive. So writing those there, and then dates and events. So these are good for things like birthdays, anniversaries, again, work events, things like that, or just planning for the future. And then here is just a to-do list. So what little things or big things need to get done this month. Then here you're going to fill out the actual month. So days 1 through 30, 1 through 31, you're going to go ahead and fill those out yourself, making sure not to forget holidays because they are not listed in here. Then we move on to the primary top 2 fitness, nutrition, lifestyle goals that you want to work on this month. So again, the whole purpose of this journal is to get really clear on what you want to work towards and then kind of reverse engineer it and work backwards. So the reason that there's only 2 here is because we want to get specific and stay really focused on those 1 or 2 things each month. All right. After you're finished filling out your month plan, you're going to go into your weekly plan section. So again, we're breaking it down even further. So based on what we just filled out in our month plan, we're going to break that down into our weekly plan. So you would write the date of the week here. So maybe it's the 1st through the 7th or whatever it is. And then based on what we said we wanted to focus on this month, what do we need to do in fitness, nutrition, lifestyle, and other, just in case there's anything else I missed, that you really need to focus on to stay on track for this month. So filling those out, and then the little stars here are the action steps. So for example, if your fitness goal this week is to work out 3 times, then one of your action steps might be fill out in my planner when I'm going to go to the gym. Or maybe it's buy new sneakers because mine are crappy. Or maybe it's ask my spouse for support to go with me to the gym. So again, what exactly do you need to do, these little stars here, what exactly do you need to do to reach this goal that you're writing here for fitness, nutrition, and lifestyle? Moving into the break it down section, this is just another way to look at all of the things that you might want to accomplish in a different way. So you're kind of looking at what's important and urgent. What are the things that I need to do right now? What is urgent but not super important? So maybe you can get someone else's help with it because you aren't the one who has to do it. So for example, laundry, maybe you have no clothes and you need to get your laundry done, but somebody else can help you with that. So you can delegate that out to somebody else. Something that's not urgent, meaning it doesn't have to happen right now, but it is important. It does have to happen eventually. So something that you want to do soon. So maybe not right away, maybe not the first thing this week, but you do want to get it done because it is important. And maybe there's some things that are just not important and they don't need to get done right away. And in that case, maybe you can eliminate them. So maybe it's something like social media or watching a Netflix show, or maybe it's baking a cake for a birthday party that you realize, I just really don't have to do that and I wanted to, but I don't need to, and that's going to free up time for me that I can work on these other more important and urgent things. Over here, planning ahead for the week. So these are some thoughts and journal prompts that are going to help prepare you for the week ahead. So what do you need to be successful this week? So maybe it's support from your spouse. Maybe it's good time management skills. Maybe it's a positive attitude. Maybe it's actually a physical thing that maybe you need to buy a new car. It could be anything. So don't let these examples here limit what you think you can write here. It's really it can be practical or it could be more ideological in that sense. Any foreseeable challenges or roadblocks? So what might throw you off from this week's goals? So as a coach, a lot of the issues that my clients run into, especially with nutrition, is they know that maybe there's a work event or there's a happy hour or it's somebody's birthday, and they know that they're going to be challenged with food choices that are not in line with what they want to be doing. So if you know something like that is happening, maybe it's a kid's birthday party or maybe it's a work event, writing that in here and being prepared for it will help you so you're not caught off guard when it happens because you already knew it was coming. So you want to plan ahead for it. Do you have any limiting beliefs or recurring thoughts or fears going into this week? So one of the easiest, most simple things you could have in your head is maybe, oh, I'm not going to get that done, or I'm not good enough to do that, or I'm not smart enough, or whatever it might be. But it's a limiting belief that's going to hold you back from accomplishing your goals. So if you have some of those, this is your space to be honest with yourself and write it out. And if you do have limiting beliefs, it's really helpful to try to counteract those with more positive, empowering beliefs. So maybe you say, oh, I don't have enough time to do it. And you can tell yourself, you know what, I'm going to make the time. I'm going to find some time to do X, Y, and Z. And you can write that here. At the very bottom, you have your focus for the week. So after filling all of this out, I want you to think back on everything that you want to accomplish this week and set one primary focus. So maybe your primary focus is spend more time on myself, or maybe your primary focus is get that big work project done above all else, or maybe the focus is I really want to stay on track with nutrition, so I'm going to do everything I need to make sure that happens. So the one main focus that you really want to stay on track with. The Get Specific pages are the most open pages in the journal, and these are really for you to do whatever you want with them. So I added these in because some of my original testers requested that there was more space for them to, for example, write their workouts or plan their meals or write a shopping list or express their feelings and thoughts or track their water intake. So this is where you can do that. So again, you can draw things, you can put little stickers in here. I know there's a lot of cool stickers out there for journals. So you could put some stickers in here, you could make a list, you could track your workouts. If you don't need the space, you can just use it to write, you can jot notes down. It's really whatever you want it to be. And then this space down here is actual complete blank space. So whatever you want to use that for. Then we get to our weekly breakdown. So this is the week by day section. And you can see it starts on a Monday. And the reason I did that is because I do believe that most of us operate on a Monday as the start of the week schedule. So for any of you who, have a 9 to 5, usually Monday seems like the first day of the week. So I wanted to have a Monday start, and you can see it goes Monday through Sunday. Over here, you have your all-day event or reminder. So again, maybe it's somebody's birthday, maybe you have a bill that's due, maybe you need to make sure to call somebody, but it's something that needs to happen that day or is happening that day. Today I will. This is really whatever you want it to be. So maybe today I will work on affirmations. Today I will work out. Today I will make me time. Today I will spend 20 minutes with my spouse. Whatever you want it to be. Maybe today I will work for 5 hours. It could really be anything, but it's almost like a mini focus for the day. Over here is your focus for the week again. So this is the same thing that you just wrote on the last page. So I want you to take that and copy it over here. That way you see it all week and you don't forget about it. So your focus for the week goes here. What daily habits do you have that you want to work on this week? So maybe you want to drink a gallon of water every day, or maybe you want to make sure to get 30 minutes of movement in every day, or maybe you want to meditate for 20 minutes every morning. So whatever daily habits you want to work on every day, you would list those out here so you don't forget them. Down here is space for you to write affirmations to yourself, or maybe just something that's inspiring. So if you see an inspiring quote or a thought that you have or something you hear someone say, that's space for you to put that here. Now, the way that the day is broken up is morning, afternoon, and evening. So if you want to write in actual times, that's perfect, but I left this open because I didn't want to limit people to having to use exact time slots for everything and have some of those be wasted. So if you want to write, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., That's totally fine. If you would rather just say, okay, this stuff is morning stuff, this stuff is afternoon, and this is evening, then that works as well. So based on what we planned for the week, those action steps that we talked about in the other section, those action steps are going to come and be over here. So again, if the action step was, I'm going to work out 3 days this week, then you're going to write in which 3 days and when you're going to work out. So bringing those action steps onto your week schedule. At the end of each day, or maybe in the middle of the day, you can track your mood. So that's what this is here for. So in this little box here, it just says today's mood, and this is meant to be very straightforward and simple. So maybe you just say really happy, or kind of moody, PMSing, bummed out, whatever it is. But I found that this is a really cool tool to kind of track our emotions and also reflect on how our emotions changed based on maybe the day itself or the day before or our activity levels or our nutrition. So it's actually a really great tool to pay attention to how your lifestyle is affecting your mood. At the end of the day, you have your daily summary down here. So this is meant to be a very simple, quick, a few sentences summary of the day. So maybe you're someone who likes to write the top 1 or 2 things that happened that day. Or maybe you want to just do a recap of what you did that day. Or maybe you're going through something and you want to just write a little bit on how that's affecting you that day. So again, it's just a simple overview of how you felt that day, however you want to write that out. At the end of the week, you have your recap and reflection section. So this is generally going to be on a Sunday for most people. Quiet. See? Hush. Hey! Hush. So this is generally going to be at the end of the week, probably on a Sunday afternoon or evening, that you would fill this out. And the way that it's designed, I tried to make it pretty concise so it won't take too long, but at the same time, if you need to take time for this, or if it does end up taking you maybe a half hour, 45 minutes, that's fine. If you have the time, I would really encourage you to spend the time that you need to make sure you're getting the most out of this section. So first, you're going to start with your top 3 successes. So what went really well this week? What was great? What was exciting? That can be anything, really. Maybe you crushed a new personal record in the gym and you lifted something heavier than you ever have before. Or maybe you had that really challenging conversation with your boss that you had to have. Or maybe you got some quality time with your children and that was just like the highlight of your week. So what went really well and why were you able to accomplish that? How did it make you feel? As for the challenges, this is just another section where, we can reflect on what was hard for us, what didn't go as planned or didn't go as well as we wanted it to, and why, and how we can deal with that and be better prepared for it in the future. So again, these questions are just prompting questions. You don't have to answer all of them, but these are the type of questions I want you to start to try to ask yourself and learn to ask yourself because they're the ones that are going to get you to really be honest and reflect on yourself and go deep. And that's where you're going to find a lot of change if you can start doing that for yourself. So these questions are pretty self-explanatory over here. Are you closer to your 3-month vision than you are last week, and why? So again, we want to stay really connected to the vision that we're trying to create for ourselves. So if you forget what your vision is, this is time for you to go back and look at the front pages and see what your vision was for yourself. And even though it's only been a week when you first start, even though we're only 1 week in, still, are you focused? Are you on track? Do you remember what your vision is for yourself? And this could be yes or no, and there's a reason for it, right? So yes, I am closer to my vision, and it's because I did XYZ and I worked on XYZ. No, I'm not closer to my vision, and it's because I didn't do this or I did this, and here's how I can move forward in the future so that I will be closer to my goal. Any takeaways that you have go down here. So these might just be aha moments or something really profound that you hadn't realized before and now you do, or maybe your feelings are changing about something and you're realizing something about yourself. So again, this can be a list, this can be journaling, this can be a little drawing, whatever you want it to be. If that hasn't been made clear, this journal is definitely, yours to make your own. And here is the actual journaling space. So this is where you can actually just write whatever you want. But of course, you're not limited to writing. But my intention for you was to use this at the end of each day, or maybe at the beginning of each day. That way you can kind of remember what's going on in your life more instead of waiting until the end of the week. But if you don't have time to do it every day, or for whatever reason, maybe you forget, or that's just not your style, then you can use this at the end of the week and just fill it up with whatever is on your mind. So the whole journal will repeat that way for 26 weeks. But remember, at the end of each month, you're going to flip back to the front and you're going to fill out a new monthly section. And then after that, you're going to go back to the week that you're on, fill out the whole thing. And you're going to do this for 6 months. And at the end of every month, if you flip to the back of the journal, you'll see that there is a monthly check-in. So at the end of the month, you'll go to the back and you'll do your monthly check-in. And again, these questions up here are just to kind of get the ball rolling and get you thinking about different things that you might want to explore and think about for yourself, and different questions that you could answer. So you would write in what month, what year, and then write it out, list it out, draw, mind map, whatever you want to do here, and then you would start the whole process over. So you will notice that month 3 and month 6 are a little bit different because the 3-month check-in should line up with the original vision that you set for yourself in the beginning. So the reason I did it this way is because I want you again to reflect back to the beginning of your journal and look at your 3-month vision and see if it lines up with where you're at in 3 months. So again, looking at these questions here and answering those. And then this is something that you can fill out. So kind of starting with your original 3-month vision, writing out where you wanted to be, what you wanted to be working on, who you were, what your life looked like, where you are right now in regards to these areas. And then based on that, where you're going to be in another 3 months, which is essentially your 6-month mark. So maybe you need to adjust a little bit. Maybe you need to course correct, and that's totally fine. Same thing goes for your very last page, your 6-month check-in. Same thing, you're going to look back on your original vision and you're going to answer some questions about how you've progressed, what your thoughts are from the last 3-month check-in that you had in your 3-month vision. And then you're going to fill out this section again. So where you were in the very beginning, your original 6-month vision, where you are right now, 6 months later, and where do you want to go? And at that point, you're going to have your next FNL journal for the next 6 months. So you can take that information and start that whole process over again, redesign your vision or kind of build on your vision even more for the next 6 months, and just repeating that cycle. And it may sound monotonous, but I promise you it's not. As you go through this experience, and if you really dedicate the time to these journals and answer the questions and be honest with yourself, I guarantee you will have a lot of changes and a lot of shifts over time. So it's not going to feel super repetitive if you're really putting in the work. And I think that you will grow so much from it. So of course, if you have any questions, I am here truly for your support. So if you're struggling with something, if you're not sure how to answer a question, if you're just having a total mental block, if you don't really know how to answer something, or you're not sure where you should take things, or you don't know the next step, just reach out to me or reach out to the Facebook community, because that's what it's for. And we're all here to empower and uplift each other.